Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on something you probably see all the time online, maybe even have one kicking around.
Yeah, exactly. An everyday gadget.
Right. And this seems simple, but its story, tells you so much about how we shop now, what makes us click buy. So we're going to try and figure out what makes this specific product such a thing online, the good and the bad.
And that thing is the Benga Stereo Pro gaming headset, the G9000 model.
Okay.
And what's really cool is our source material, it isn't some boring spec sheet. We're diving right into the Amazon listing itself.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so you get the company's promises, the tech specs, but also like thousands and thousands of real customer reviews all mixed together.
Okay, so the Amazon page is our source. What's the mission then? What are we trying to figure out from this one headset?
Well, the mission is to pull out the really key stuff, the surprising bits. Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll break down the features, see where it fits in the market, and really get into that customer feedback, which, spoiler, is often all over the place.
Right. Contradictory sometimes.
Totally. So the big question is, like, what can this one kind of cheap headset teach us about, electronics, online shopping, and what success even means today? It's like a mini version of the whole online market.
That's a great way to look at it. Okay, let's get into it. First off, the obvious draw, right? The price.
Yeah.
For Prime members, it's what, $25.99?
$25.99. And even if you don't have Prime, it's just $29.99. Super affordable.
Incredibly. But it's not just cheap, is it? People are actually buying this thing. The listing says over 500 bought last month alone.
Yeah, 500 plus. That's a lot of headsets moving. It tells you something's working, at least initially.
And that translates to its ranking, right? Where does it sit on Amazon's charts?
It does. So its overall bestsellers rank in video games is hashtag 1089, which sounds kind of high maybe.
A little, yeah.
But when you narrow it down, it gets impressive. It's number 9 in Xbox One headsets.
Wow, okay.
Number 13 for Mac game headsets. And number 24 for PS4 headsets. So it's not just floating around. It's really strong in these specific gaming niches.
So that price is hitting a nerve with Xbox, Mac, and PS4 gamers looking for a deal.
Exactly. It shows how you can target a specific need, even in a huge market, with aggressive pricing.
Okay, so it's popular, cheap, people are buying it. But what's the promise? What features are they listing that pull people in? Because the compatibility list alone seems kind of wild for the price.
Oh, yeah, the compatibility is huge. They list PS4, the new Xbox One. Though you got to remember, you need that extra Microsoft adapter for the older Xbox controllers. That's not included.
Ah, okay. Good catch. What else?
PC, Nintendo 3DS, laptops, PSP, tablets, iPads, computers, mobile phones. Like pretty much anything with a headphone jack, it seems.
That's a lot. So beyond just plugging it in, what about the core stuff, like sound?
Right, the technical promises. They're ambitious for under $30. Audio quality first. They talk about a surrounding stereo subwoofer.
Okay, hold up. Surrounding stereo subwoofer. That sounds made up. Is that a real thing in headsets?
Yeah, you caught that. It's definitely marketing speak.
Yeah.
Stereo's normal, 2 channels. A subwoofer is usually a separate speaker for bass. Putting them together like that for a headset.
Just sounds cool.
Pretty much. It's meant to make you think powerful bass, immersive sound without actually having like a tiny subwoofer in there. It's probably just boosted bass in a standard stereo setup.
Gotcha. So marketing magic. What about the actual hardware bits?
They mention a high-precision 40mm magnetic neodymium driver. Now, 40mm, that's a decent driver size for headphones. Can give you fuller sound.
Okay.
And neodymium magnets are strong and light, good for clear audio. So on paper, that part sounds reasonable for the price range.
And what kind of sound do they promise? Like, what's the vibe?
They promise a vivid sound field, sound clarity, and shock feeling sound. Again, very evocative, right?
Very marketing you, yeah.
They even list specific games. It's supposedly great for Halo 5, Metal Gear Solid, Call of Duty, Overwatch, WoW W, trying to hit those big gamer buttons. And the frequency range is 15 hertz to 20 kHz. That's pretty standard. Covers what most people can hear.
Okay, so lots of promises on sound.
Right.
What about the mic? Crucial for gaming chat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They call it an integrated noise-isolating microphone. Describes it as omnidirectional.
Omnidirectional. Doesn't that pick up everything? Not ideal for noise canceling.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, Omni mics grab sound from all directions. So claiming premium noise canceling with an Omni mic is interesting. Maybe there's some processing.
Maybe.
They say it picks up sound with great sensitivity and removes noise for clear chat. And it's got that long, flexible arm, which is genuinely useful for getting it positioned right.
And comfort, durability. You don't want something that feels cheap and hurts your head after an hour, even if it is cheap.
For sure.
Yeah.
They market a great humanized design. Fancy term.
Yeah. What does that mean?
It means comfy ear pads. Air permeable protein over ear pads, they say. Supposed to be breathable, less sweaty.
Okay, that's good.
A multi-points headband probably just means the headband adjusts and distributes pressure okay. And skin-friendly material, plus an adjustable headband, and they mention a metal frame, which suggests some durability.
Suggests, yeah. And the gamer look.
Oh, yeah. Got to have the lights. Glaring LED lights on the ear cups for that gaming atmosphere.
Of course, can't game without LEDs.
Apparently not. And convenience-wise, there's an inline controller on the cable. Braided cable, too, supposed to resist tangling.
What's on the controller?
Rotary volume wheel and a one-key mic mute. Pretty standard, useful stuff. And the cable's long, like 2.1 meters. Good flexibility.
Okay, so that's the product itself. But you mentioned other stuff on the Amazon page, right? Logistics, ethics.
Yeah, a couple interesting points beyond just the headset. For you, the buyer, there's the standard 30-day refund replacement policy and free returns. Kind of takes the risk out of clicking buy, you know?
Yeah, peace of mind.
And then something less common. It's listed as carbon-free certified by a company called Climco.
Carbon-free, what does that actually mean?
It usually means they've measured the carbon footprint of making and shipping it, and then either reduced it or bought carbon offsets to balance it out, investing in, like, environmental projects.
So it's trying to be greenish?
Sort of. It
Okay.
taps into that desire for sustainable buying. But, offsets can be complicated. It doesn't automatically mean the product itself is eco-friendly, just that its impact is theoretically balanced elsewhere. It's a step, but maybe not as simple as it sounds.
Gotcha. Anything else?
Just that Amazon pushes its ships in product packaging for this, trying to reduce waste. They claim a 41% cut in packaging weight since 2015, saving tons of material.
Okay. But you can still get the regular Amazon box.
Yeah, you have the option. Consumer choice meets corporate green initiative, kind of.
All right. We've got the promises, the price, the context. Now, the reality check. The user reviews. This is where it gets juicy, right?
This is absolutely where the rubber meets the road. That 4.3-star overall rating looks good,
Pretty solid, yeah.
but with thousands of reviews, you just know there's more to this story. It's never that simple.
So let's dig in. Amazon has that AI summary thing now, right? What does it say?
It does, and he gives a quick overview, points to where the opinions split. Comfort is a good place to start. The AI flags it as mostly positive.
Okay. So people generally find it comfy.
Yeah, lots of reviews say comfortable, don't hurt ears, even for long gaming sessions. One person even liked the mic because the ear cups blocked out office noise well. So good passive isolation, maybe.
Nice. But is it everyone?
Ah, no. That's the thing. There's definitely a smaller group saying they hurt my ears after wearing them for a short time. So good for many, but not a guaranteed fit for every head shape or sensitivity, it seems.
Okay, what about the look, the design? Do people like the LEDs?
Oh, yeah. Design is like almost a universal win. People say it looks cool, love the nice colors, the sleek design. Almost no complaints there. The gamer aesthetic definitely lands.
And the main job, gaming. Does it work well for playing games?
Here, too, mostly positive feedback for what it is. Great for PC, perfect for gaming, works for casual gaming, especially mentioned as good for kids and teens.
So it hits that entry-level casual gamer target pretty well.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Delivers on that core promise for most people buying it for that reason.
Okay, so far mostly good. Looks cool, comfy for most, works for casual gaming. But functionality, sound quality, this is where budget stuff can get dicey.
And this is exactly where the cracks start to show, where those mixed reviews really pop up. Functionality first. Some say it works well, fine. But then you see lots of complaints about the mic being inconsistent. Like, sometimes my friends can hear me and sometimes they can't.
Oof, that's annoying.
Yeah. Or the mic quality is just dull or muffled. And worse, people reporting the headset just stopped working. Sometimes after a week, sometimes 6 months. That's a big red flag for quality control.
Definitely. And the sound itself, apart from the mic.
Also really mixed. You've got people saying it sounds perfect, very clear sound. So for some, it's great.
Okay.
But then others report weird stuff, like the volume going down when you turn it all the way up.
Wait, what? How does that even happen?
No idea. Bizarre. Or just muffled sound, constant static, or the sound cutting out completely. It really suggests, inconsistent manufacturing. unit-to-unit variation.
Which you kind of expect at this price sometimes, but still frustrating.
Exactly. Leads right into the next big split. Value for money versus build quality. Is it cheap and good or just cheap?
The eternal question.
Totally. And opinions are strongly divided. Value, lots of people say, good for the price, affordable, decent budget friendly. Someone even called it cheap, but super reliable. They clearly feel they got a bargain.
Lucky them.
Right. But then others call it a waste of money, say it feels a little cheaper. And build quality follows that split. Some swear it's got amazing construction, lasted over a year, even one guy saying nearly 3 years and counting.
3 years for a $26 headset. That's impressive if true.
If true, yeah. But then you have the other side. Plastic gives off a cheap, breakable feel. Poorly made, even breaking on the first day.
Wow, first day.
Yeah, so it's like, are these people even reviewing the same product? It really highlights the gamble. You might get a workhorse, you might get something that breaks immediately. That variability is the story at this price point.
It really paints a picture, doesn't it? Let's put some real voices to this. You mentioned specific reviews.
Yeah, the anecdotes really drive it home. Positive side, Jessica, April 2025, says it works just as good, if not better, than expensive brands. And get this, her son dropped them repeatedly, and they survived.
Okay, accidental durability test passed for her.
Right. And Jake, November 2024, the nearly 3 years and counting guy. Powerful story, even if it's maybe an outlier. Then Danielle B., December 2024, using it for work from home, loved the comfort and mic. A totally different use case, but it works for her.
Shows versatility, maybe? But
Yeah.
what about the tough experiences?
Yeah, the other side. Ace Chapman, June 2025, mentioned that weird volume issue, turning it up makes it quieter after a while. That's a major functional flaw.
Definitely.
And Cassie C., March 2025, had a really bad run,
Yeah.
bought 2 pairs, and both died after about 6 months.
Ouch. Twice. That's rough.
Exactly. These specific stories, they really show the inconsistency hiding behind that 4.3-star average. High sales don't mean every unit is perfect. Far from it sometimes.
So, wrapping this up, what's the final take on the Bengo G9000?
Well, it's a fascinating case study, isn't it? It shows how an affordable, feature-packed product can absolutely crush it in terms of sales and get decent overall ratings, mostly because that price and the initial look are so appealing. But yeah, dig just a little deeper, and you find this huge range of experiences, especially problems with how long it lasts and whether the sound and mic work reliably over time. Like the perfect example of the online tech gamble. Perception, price, and the messy reality often don't quite line up.
Which leaves us with a big question for you, the listener, right? When you're shopping online, faced with tons of options, especially these super cheap ones, how much does that initial low price and flashy feature list actually matter?
Yeah, compared to knowing if the thing will actually last and work consistently, is that gamble on a cheap product worth the potential savings?
And what about that carbon-free certified label? Does that sway your decision, especially if the product might not be durable and needs replacing sooner? What really tips the scale for you when you're weighing all this up? Something to think about next time you're scrolling.